Hi friends, welcome to another reading vlog. It is currently thunderstorming outside and I don't know if you can hear the rain or not, but it is the perfect time to read with the thunder going, the rain falling, and the lightning strikes. So I thought I would finally start reading Fourth Wing. There's some lightning, I don't know if you guys could see that. But I'm gonna start reading Fourth Wing. Honestly, I have not been reading for like the last couple days. I think like 3 days or something. There's some of the thunder. Emmy's so scared. So there's so much hype with this book and just so much going on that I'm a little apprehensive to read it. I'm worried that it's not gonna live up to the hype. But I'm gonna start it today and keep you guys updated with what I think as I'm reading. Okay, so I'm about 25 pages in. Like I said to Ty, somebody already died, so I am trying not to get attached to any of the characters now because I really liked that one that just died, even though I'm like 20 pages in. But this is pretty intense. A fantasy book usually takes me longer to get into just because of the world building and like figuring out what's going on. But this one just kind of throws you right in, and then you learn as she's like trying to survive for her life. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm not like invested. It's definitely like I'm forcing myself to read it right now, but it is intense right off the bat. You do get to know a little bit of the world building right away. So yeah, but it's dinner time, so I'm gonna go eat. Hey guys, so I have done a terrible job updating the vlog, but I am 250 pages into Fourth Wing. We went to Kalkaska to visit my dad and that side of the family for the weekend, so we had a 4-hour drive all together this weekend. And I read for a majority of the drive down there or up there. Like, it took me about 50 pages in to actually get into it, and then I'm addicted. I just want to keep reading. It is so good. Definitely worth the hype. Like, the writing is really good. I'm loving the character dynamics, and just like there's a friends to lovers and then an enemies to lovers, and like you can't get attached to the characters because you just do not know what's gonna happen to them, and that is really hard for me. Like, I've been so shocked by just stuff that has been happening, and honestly, if I were to describe this, I keep telling my husband it feels like Hunger Games and Divergent just with dragons, like, if that makes sense. So it's been really fun to read. I'm really addicted to it. And tomorrow I leave for Colorado for a podcast conference. I'm bringing it with me, but I am going to read more tonight. But I'm hoping to finish it on the plane tomorrow because I just want to know what happens. I love like fantasy elements, like the dragons and all this stuff going on. I did not realize how much I would love the dragons in this though. I just think they are so cool, and like the bond that they have with humans in this book is like so cool, just so cool. So like I said, imagine the Hunger Games or Divergent but with dragons, and like if that doesn't make you want to read it, then I don't know what would. But it is so good. I am definitely hooked. So I'm gonna go keep reading, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to finish it on the plane. But honestly guys, it is definitely worth the hype. It is really good. Okay guys, so we made it to the hotel, and if I didn't update on what we're doing, we have a podcast conference this week. So I am here with a friend and my coworker, and we have check-in later today at 3, but on the plane I got to page 436. Let me tell you, I'm almost done with this book, and I just absolutely love it. I love it so much. So I don't want to say it too much because I don't want to spoil it, but it is so fast-paced, and honestly the way that I'm describing it is it's just like the Hunger Games, identical, like so close to the Hunger Games but with dragons. And then Xaden, who's like a character, really reminds me of 4 from Divergent, like the training and his like broodiness and his attitude and the way that he treats the main character. And I love it. I'm almost done, and I'm really sad because I don't want to be done, but I also want to finish it because I know what happens, or I don't know what happens. I want to know what happens. if you haven't read Fourth Wing, I would recommend. It is so good. And I just looked on Goodreads, and the series is going to be 5 books. So I am a little overwhelmed because I'm just with the stuff that it's setting up in book 1, and I haven't even finished yet, so I don't even know what's going to happen. But the stuff that's happening in book 1, I'm just really excited to see like what else is going to happen in this series. So I'm like so excited, but we will see what happens. Guys, I just finished Fourth Wing. That last sentence, I'm like making a bunch of happy noises because I was not expecting that at all. Like, I knew something really bad was gonna happen at the end, and it did, but then I was expecting like a really, really, really bad cliffhanger at the very, very end. And it's not. It is not. This book is mind-blowing. Like, Fourth Wing is so good. I like already want to reread it. It was so good. And that ending, oh my gosh. I'm just like in shock after finishing it. I just can't even, and I am not going to say any spoilers, but I am just in shock. That was so good. I meant to like vlog my reaction, but I was so invested that I forgot to even like start recording when I was on the last page. But wow, man, oh man. So I just finished Fourth Wing. I would recommend, definitely, I think a 4-star read because it took me a little bit to get into, and then there were parts that I was kind of like getting out of, but the end and just like the plot twist, I would recommend. I loved this book. So as you can see, I am home from the podcast conference. I thought that I would give a little recap because since I was with my friends for the conference and there's a lot of other stuff going on, I didn't really fully give like my thoughts and feelings for the books that I read while I was gone. So to wrap up Fourth Wing, I loved this book. I did give it 4 stars instead of 5, just because I felt like it took me a little bit to get into. Like, it took me about 50 pages, and my friend that read it on the trip after me, she said that she liked it kind of right away. Like, it took her maybe like 20 pages to get into it. I don't know that she would rate it 5 stars either, but I, for that reason, gave it 4 stars. And then there were moments that I wasn't as intrigued, but for the most part, like, I did not want to put this down. I thought it was so good. My favorite parts were definitely just the connection that the main character has with the dragon, because, like, that was just amazing to me. I was like, I just loved this. I really love the romance. I did feel like it was a little bit rushed. I wish that there was a little bit more chemistry between her and Xaden. I mean, obviously you get like the enemies to lovers, but I just wish that there was more, because honestly I felt like it went kind of fast. But as you know, we're gonna get that kind of like will they, won't they in the next book. So obviously this is gonna be something that happens, like, lasts through the series. But I wish there had been more of a build-up for them. There still was a good build-up, but I wish that there had been more, like maybe they don't get together this book, or at least like don't confess that they love each other yet. But, and he hasn't until the end when it's in his perspective, but I just wish there's a little bit more of that like push and pull for this book. And I also, I mean, Dain, as you guys know, if you've read this book, which hopefully you have, because this definitely has spoilers, but Dain is the worst, like actually the worst. I do wish, though, I didn't like him from the beginning. I don't know that anybody does, but I wish that there was more of the feeling of childhood best friend, because obviously like they've grown up together. We hear about all these events that they've done together, but then it's like he's my best friend. We grew up together, but I didn't feel the emotional pull in that. Like, I didn't feel connected. I did not care about him at all. I was like, I know this isn't gonna last, and maybe that's the purpose, but I kind of wish there was more of like that conflict with the reader of like, I want them to be together, and there wasn't. So that kind of fell flat for me. I was really happy, obviously, when things did not work out, and he is the worst, like actually the most evil character in this book, and there's venom in this book, like seriously. But the ending, obviously I did film my reaction for that. I meant to film while I was reading, but obviously I did not. I was so intrigued by the end. I was so worried that it was gonna end with her like not having her memory or not waking up or something, but the way that it ended makes me so excited for the next book. Just like, I'm still in awe and like shock at how this ended. So I am very excited for the rest of this series. I'm wondering if the dad is gonna play a role, like if he's actually dead, or if that was kind of like, my dad's gone and the next plot twist will be like he's alive, but I don't know, so we'll see what happens. I think she's gonna take her mom down. I'm really excited for how all of that plays out and the fact that her mom knows about it. So I really liked the twist. I could see the one coming with like the venom being real and the wyverns and all that stuff. But then what I did not see coming was the very, very, very end, and I'm very excited to see how that picks up in the second one. Overall, 4-star read. I did really like this book a lot. It was a really good fantasy read, and like I said, it took me 50 pages to get into it. But when I did, I was obsessed and I wanted to keep reading. So thank you guys so much for watching, and overall, the podcast conference was really fun, made some connections, met a lot of people, and yeah, it was just really good. So again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and go follow my new Bookstagram to see these reviews. I'm trying to post them after I post the videos, so I'm like way ahead of what I'm actually reading, so that says in my bio. But everything else will be up to date with these videos. So thank you guys for watching.